Here we have Unit 6. Tell me what it's or what is it like. Here we have the word like. It means يبدو أو يشبه. What is the capital city of your country? Damascus. What is the population? The population هي السكان يعني إنه عدد السكان more than 20 millions. It's an old or modern city. It is old and modern. We have two parts of Damascus. Also, we have write down two things that you like about your capital and two things that you don't like. Tell the class. So, I like traveling on the buses in London, but I don't like the underground. It's too expensive. Word travel, كلمات السفر. Read about the Toddy Bodegs. What do you know about Mumbai, Dubai, and Paris? Where are they? Todd Bridges. Toddy Bridges is only 17 years old, but he is already a successful tennis player. Toddy عمره 17 عاما ولكنه لاعب تنس ناجح. He comes from Chicago, USA. هو من مدينة شيكاغو الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية. But he travels all over the world playing tennis. ولكنه سافر حول العالم ليلعب التنس. Last year السنة الماضية he played in tennis championship. في السنة الماضية لعب في بطولة التنس championship بطولة in Melbourne, Dubai and Paris. Melbourne مدينة في دبي وباريس. Melbourne عفوا دبي وباريس. Practice. What is Chicago like? كيف تبدو شيكاغو أو ماذا تشبه? You are asking Toddy about Chicago. Complete the questions with is or are and the correct words from the box. Big, bigger, and biggest, comparative and superlative. You remember that lesson about comparative. Read the second part of the conversation with Todd. He compares the places he visited last year. Can you complete any of the sentences? Let's see. Melbourne was interesting, but for me, Paris was more interesting than Melbourne. More interesting than, and in some ways Dubai was the most interesting of all because it was so different city and other place. I know it was also the best, direct and the most modern. It was hot in Melbourne, but not very hot. Not very hot, more hot than Dubai. Dubai was hotter. Melbourne is older city. Dubai older than Dubai, but not very old than Paris. Paris was the oldest city I visited, but it has some great modern buildings too. It was the best romantic place. I loved it. Let's see here the questions. The restaurants, the people, the nightlife, and the buildings. What is the weather like? Well, Chicago called the windy city and it really can be windy. إذن شيكاغو تسمى مدينة الرياح وهي حقا مدينة الرياح. What is it like? كيف تبدو? They are very interesting. What are the population like? كيف يبدو الناس في المدينة? They are interesting. You meet people from all over the world. What dash like? A lot of them are very, very tall. The Sears Tower is 100. What are the buildings like? كيف تبدو البنايات؟ إنها حقا شاهقة وطويلة قد تصل إلى 110 دور أو طابق. They are very good. You can find food. What are restaurants like? إذن المطاعم جيدة جدا. يمكنك إيجاد طعام من أي دولة في العالم. Oh, it is wonderful. There is a lot of to do in Chicago. فإذا what are the nightlife like؟ كيف تبدو الحياة الليلية في المدينة؟ نلاحظ grammar spots. What are the comparative and superlative forms of the following adjectives? What are the rules? Small, cold, near, busy, noisy, dry. Big, hot, wet, beautiful, interesting, exciting. Let's see. As I said in the last lesson, we talked about comparative and superlative. Comparative, to compare between two things or two people are sharing the same things or the same adjective. This adjective are sharing about it. Also, it has two kinds. For example, the first kind is a short adjective and the second is a long adjective. So the short adjectives we can put er or est, and the long adjective we should add more and many, more and most. Okay, more and most, talking about what? About the long adjectives. Here we have something to do about comparative and superlative. He said what? Compare 4 capital cities. And we talked about the irregular adjective. The irregular adjectives, we talked about it. Good, better, and the best, bad, the worst, and the worst, and that's it. Okay, here we have comparative and for capital cities. Match the cities and the photograph of which countries are these the capital cities. Paris, it will be number 1 because of Eiffel Tower. Beijing, it's number 3, and Scotland number 4, Brasilia number 2. Okay. This summer, hotter than the last. It wasn't as hot as the last year. Look here, as hot as. We talked about that in the quality or in the quantity of the adjectives. When I said Ahmed is as tall as Ali. So these are two people or two things are sharing the same adjective, no one more than the other. No, they are the same quantity, the same tall, the same length, the same width. Okay, so we can say what? Not comparative. We say quality for both. Practice these sentences with a partner. It is not as cold today as it was yesterday. لم يكن الجو اليوم باردا كما كان في الأمس. But it is colder than it was last week. ولكنها أبرد مما كانت عليه الأسبوع الماضي. I'm not as tall as you, but I'm taller than أنا. أنا لست بنفس الطول الخاص بك ولكني أطول من أنا. This car's more expensive than John's. هذه السيارة أغلى من سيارة جونز. But it is not as expensive as Anna's. ولكنها ليست بنفس الغلاء الخاص بسعر سيارة أنا. Work with a partner. Your teacher will give you some information. Students read about Paris and Beijing. Read about Scotland and Brasilia. Okay, let's see here. Listening and speaking. Conversation. Work with a partner and continue these conversations. I moved to a new flat last week. Oh, really? What is it like? Well, it's bigger than my old one, but it's not modern and it's small. I heard Sandy and Al broke up. Yeah, Sandy's got a new boyfriend. Oh, really? What is he like? Well, he's more handsome than Al, and he is rich. We have a new teacher. Oh, really? What is she like? Well, I think she is the best teacher we have ever had. Is that your new car? Yes. Well, it is second hand, but it's new to me. لا، إن السيارة الثانية لي اللي هي السيارة كما تسمى الاحتياط second hand، ولكنها جديدة بالنسبة لي. لاحظ what is it like? Well, it is faster than my old car and it's more expensive. Act out a conversation to the class. Who is the longest? Check it. Correct the sentences. He is more older than he looks. So omit more. Just but older. Jessica is as tall than her mother. No, take than and but as. Okay, we said Jessica is as tall as her mother. What does New York like? It's really exciting. عفوا. هنا لازم نقول ايش؟ What is New York like? Trains in London are more crowded than in Paris. Trains in London are more crowded that in Paris than. More crowded than, not that. So we omit T and but N. Oxford is one of oldest universities in Europe. Oxford is one of the oldest. He isn't as intelligent than his sister. Intelligent as. This is more hard than I expected. This is more hard. Omit more. This is harder than. Harder. Who is the most rich man in the world? Omit must and say the richest. The richest. Everything is more cheap in my country. Everything is cheaper in my country. Rome was hotter that I expected. Hotter than I expected. Okay. Now, what do you know about Sweden? What is the country like? What are the people like? Discuss the statements about Sweden. Do you think? In winter, there is only 1 hour of daylight. Swedish people look for a word to winter. The houses are called. The houses are much better in Scotland than in Britain. So all these tenses are true as I see. All houses have sauna. No, this is false. You are going to listening, as we said, that we cannot take them because we don't have the records. Reading and speaking. Who are the richest people in your country? Where does their money come from and how do they spend their money? Okay, let's see now in this article we are going to talk about Taliot, Milton Bittery, the most generous man in the world, الرجل العبقري أو الأكثر عبقرية في العالم. We will see the verbs and the noun and we are going to read them. So match the verbs and nouns. Many of them are to do with money. Buy يشتري, spoil بمعنى يصرف, where يرتدي, open يفتح, live in يعيش في, inherit معجب بي أو يبذر, make يصنع, arrest يعني يعتقل, invest as I said invest بمعنى يخترع, and amputate بمعنى يصدر أو يجعل هذا الشيء مثلا كخزينة أو ما شابه. bank account حساب بنكي, open a bank account. property عقار, buy property. thief, arrest thief. a well, make a well. socks and chairs, buy. child اللي هو الطفل, you can say amplitude. a leg اللي هو القدم, we can say inherit. rigged clothes, wear rigged clothes. a lot of money from someone. spoil, a lot of money of something. You can use also buy. Okay, these words, as we said, we can make them here as matching. So you are going to read about two millionaires. One was very mean, the other very generous. First, read quickly about million or millionaire battery. Can you remember any examples of his kindness? Let's start. The most generous man in the world. Every morning, billionaire Meton Battery walked from his New York apartment and bought a newspaper from the ragged old man on the street. Come morning, the man wasn't there. Bitterly learned that he was very ill in the city hospital. Immediately he paid his hospital bill, and later when the man died, paid for his funeral. Okay, so Matlin, this is about Matlin. He sent and he buy newspaper from this man, and also he helped him when he was ill, and after he died, he also give the money about what? About the carnival اللي هو ايش الكرنفال الخاص بمراسم الدفن. Okay. Number two, two millionaires, Hattie or Hetty Green, the richest meanest woman in the world. Hetty or Hetty Green was a very spoiled only child. She was born in Manchester, USA in 1835. Her father was a millionaire businessman. Her mother was often ill, and so from the age of 2, her father took her with him to work and taught her about stocks and shares. At the age of 6, she started reading the daily financial newspapers, and she opened her own bank account. Her father died when she was 21st, and she inherited $7.5 million. ربحت $7 مليون أو ورثت $7 مليون. She went to New York and invested on Wall Street. Hattie saved every penny, eating in the cheapest restaurant for 15 cents. She became one of the richest and most hated women in the world. إذا كانت يعني عندما أصبح عمرها 21 عام توفي والدها وورثت منه $7.5 مليون، يعني 7 ملايين ونص. ولكنها للأسف كانت بخيلة جدا، كانت تذهب إلى المطاعم الرخيصة تأكل ب15 سنت، يعني أقل من $1. فأصبحت خلال فترة وجيزة المرأة الأكثر غناء في أمريكا والأكثر كرها، يعني كان يكرهها الناس بشكل كبير. She was called the Witch of Wall Street. كانت تسمى شمطاء الشارع. At 33 she married Edward Green, a multi-millionaire. تزوجت في 33 من عمرها شخص أيضا مليونير اسمه إدوارد جرين. Two children and had two children, Ned and Selva. Hattie Menez was legendary. She always argued about prices in shops. فهاي اللي هي الهاتي كانت دائما مفاصلة للأسعار في الأسواق. She walked to the local grocery store to buy broken cookies, biscuits, which were much cheaper, and to get a free bone for her much loved dog, Dewey. Once she lost 2 cents stamp and spent the night looking for it. ولدرجة البخل انه يعني بتفاصل على الشيء في المحل التجاري وتذهب الى الاسواق ماشية حتى تشتري البسكويت المكسر لانه يكون اكثر رخصا من البسكويت العادي. احد الليالي اضاعت 2 سنت اللي هو سنتين فقط، فمكثت طوال الليل تبحث عنهما. Oh my god, what a kind of stingy that she is. She never bought clothes and always wore the same long ragged black skirt. بعمرها ما اشترت ثياب ولكن دائما تمكث بهذه الملابس السوداء. Worst of all, when her son Ned fell and injured his knee, she refused to pay for a doctor and spent hours looking for free medical help. عندما سقط ابنها نيد رفضت أن تدفع مال للطبيب ومكثت ساعات تبحث عن علاج مجاني لابنها. In the end, Ned's leg was amputated. وفي الأخير التهبت رجل ابنها. When she died in 1916, she left her children $100 million worth. عندما ماتت ورثت لطفليها ثروة تقدر ب$100 مليون. worth 9.3 million today. يعني الآن 9.3 مليون، 9 ملايين و300 ألف. Her daughter built a hospital with her money. وابنتها عمرت مستشفى بمالها. 2. The old man was just one of many people that Milton Bertie helped with his money. هذا الرجل العجوز كان واحد من العديد من الناس الذين يساعدون الأشخاص بمالهم. However, he read about personal disasters in his newspaper. Bertie sent generous cheques, especially in the families of policemen or farmers injured at work. He also sent cheques to a mother who lost the children or lost 5 children in the fire, and a beautiful model whose face was cut in a knife attack. It cost him millions of dollars, but he still had millions left. He said that he was lucky in business and he wanted to help those less fortunate than himself. The nice thing is, the harder I work, the more money I make and the more people I can help. Million Bertie died in 1994 when he was 92. His will was 120 pages long because he left $150 million to 383 people. His widow controlled his fourth and last wife said his generosity was a result of the poverty of his early years. His family were poor, but kind. Bertie, his father, was Russian immigrant who became a policeman, but he never arrested anyone. He was too kind, he couldn't even give a parking ticket. فإذا هذا الشخص العجوز الذي يدعى بيتري مليون بيتري كان والده من روسيا، هاجر إلى الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية وأصبح رجل شرطة هناك. لم يتمكن، كان طيب جدا لدرجة أنه لم يعتقل أحد ولم يعطي أحد يعني مخالفة مرورية حتى، يعني وقوف خاطئ. تاجر المليون بيتري بالتجارة وكان ناجحا فيها، ربح مئات الملايين، ساعد الناس الذين هم في الشرطة أو من فقدوا أبنائهم في الحريق أو ما شابه، فكان هو دائما يساعد هؤلاء الناس ويقول أنا أساعد بالملايين ولدي أيضا الملايين. فهذا الرجل كان لديه الكثير من المال، يعني سبحان الله أنه كلما أعطى كلما زاد له من المال، حتى أنه عندما مات كان ميراثه 150 مليون، ورثها عنه تقريبا 383 شخص من الناس. Vocabulary and pronunciation, synonyms and antonyms, البوادئ واللواحق. We often use synonyms in conversation because we don't want to repair words. نستخدم هذه البوادئ في المحادثات حتى لا نستخدم أو نكرر الكلمات. It is a lovely day today. Yes, it's really beautiful. What a waffle mood or meal. Yes, it wasn't very nice, was it? So these are the antonyms and synonyms. Complete the conversation using an adjective of similar meaning from the box. Feed up, generous, brilliant, messy, modern, wealthy. Okay, let's start. Mary's family is very rich. Well, I know her uncle was very wealthy. Look at all these new buildings. Yes, Paris is much more brilliant than I expected. Wasn't that film wonderful? Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Feed up. George doesn't earn much money, but he is so kind. He isn't he? He is one of the most, you can say, generous people I know. Anna's bedroom really untidy again. Is it? I told her it was messy yesterday and she promised to clean it. I'm bored with this lesson. I know I'm really feed up with it too. Number 3, match the following adjectives with their two opposites. Interested, bored, or feed up. Horrible, bad, or messy. Mean, it means stingy. Old, new or modern. Poor, rich, or millionaire. Tidy, the opposite of it, untidy or messy. Sometimes it's more polite to use not very and opposite adjectives. Tom's so short. Well, he is not very tall. يعني الأكثر أدبا أن تستخدم هذه، إنه ليس طويلا حقا، بدل ما تقول مثلا هو قصير. He always wears such dirty clothes. هو دائما يرتدي ملابس متسخة. They certainly aren't very clean. يعني حقا أنهم ليسوا نظيفين جدا. Replay these sentences. Be more polite. أعد كتابة هذه الجمل. كن مؤدبا أكثر. London, such an expensive city. London has an excellent goods. And excellent goods are expensive. Bull and so are so mean. Bull and so are not very generous. Their house is always so messy. Their house need some cleaning. Their children are so noisy. Their children are so active. John looks so miserable. John didn't, for example, make his lock or don't interest in his locking. His sister is so stupid. His sister is not that much clever. Vocabulary are everyday English. Directions: a farm, a wood, a pound, a path, a hill, a river, a bridge, and a gate. So this one is not important. By this way, I can say that we can finish Unit 6 and we can finish the lesson of today. Tomorrow we are going to talk about famous couples, Unit 7 till Unit 10, I think. We can finish the 9th lesson. Do your homework. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow.